My name is Uroš Brankovič from Center for Sustainable Rural Development, and we are partner of the project Danube Guides Action 2. It's a project which has been going on to different projects for already several years, and our center is partner almost from the start in the different roles. Now also as a partner for Slovenia. We are really glad that we are participating and also to host today's webinar. I welcome all of you and also our coordinators from Danube Bureau from Ulm. And let me just tell you briefly how today's webinar will go on. First, I will just have a short introductory presentation to, let's say, to start for the start. It will be just a short one, and then we will proceed with our key lecturers. We are really glad that's our invitation to Miss Marcela Klofutar from Linhart House Restaurant, and to Lucija Gartner from Bohinj, from the Radovljica farm, and to marketing and tourism was accepted, and that we can have them today as lecturers. Both of the lectures will last for around 45 minutes each, and after each there will be some time for questions, your questions and answers, and also at the end of the both lectures there will be some more time for discussion, and so please ask if you will be interested about something, to hear something more, and also to, if you want to tell your opinion, because of course webinar is interactive, and it's also the opportunity place to exchange opinions, experiences, knowledge. So please, you can at the end of each lecture tell alive, or you can also during the lecture you can also write your comments, questions in the chat section. So now I will just we'll start with just with this introductory presentation. So just Marcela, maybe you could stop sharing, and I will just put my presentation on it. Few slides. Most of you know the Danube Guides, the concept, and all the, let's say, characteristics and principles. So Danube Guides, but just for those who are fresh to Danube Guides, Danube Guides are specially trained to present Danube region. Here, I always need to say that Slovenia is included as because we have a Sava river as a tributary to one of the main tributaries to Danube, and so the Danube Guides are trained to present this region as an adventurous space for various target groups, in exciting, sustainable, and most of all environmentally aware way. So we wish and want to, as guides, to share the knowledge about the interaction between humans and environment. We want by guiding support tourism, which is important part of sustainable development. And we want to, of course, by by listening the social trends. We want to contribute, or at least not to harm to the ecosystems in our region, in our countries. So beside this awareness, the Danube Guides also possess fresh and innovative and creative methods and communication channels to pass this knowledge, and maybe we can say also this message about our regions and about the needs to preserve and develop our regions, our territory in a sustainable way. So our center is also as a partner participating in a training, in different trainings. Some of them are the starting trainings for people who want to become Danube Guides, and then there are also these upgrading trainings, and one of these trainings is also today's webinar. Let me just show that one of the past course, it was intensification course in Slovenia, in Gorenjska region, in the period 2021-2022. It was the main topic of this intensification course was about water natural heritage of Sava River and wetlands in Gorenjska region. So we organized several lectures and also one field trip to water bodies in our area, and represented different topics connected with water in our region. So just about as a few starting words about the gastronomy, it's as all of you and know that it's much more than just food. It reflects the region, the landscape of the region, the natural conditions, but also the history and culture patterns of that region. So it's a wonderful and, let's say, also tasty way to taste the region, to get to know the region. But if it's done, this presentation and offering, if it's done in a sustainable way, it can also create opportunities in jobs for regions of this tourism, and that is especially important for rural areas in our Danube region. So there are several, let's say, principles of sustainable tourism and gastronomy within, so that it's used environmental resources in a sustainable way. It preserves and, or at least doesn't harm the ecosystems and nature of that region. It's culture and societies of that regions, and also provides sustainable and fair economic opportunities for the local stakeholders. So it is on one way experience for the visitors, but on the other way is also important element of sustainable development of the regions involved in tourism. Just as illustration of that, it's the chefs and the restaurants and gastronomy actors are together with guides important element how to translate, how to present the territory to tourist guide, to tourist visitors. to food through gastronomy offer. Here we can see the picture of one of the most traditional Slovenian dishes, potica, and then these benefits are also in the other direction, so that with additional income, it also brings benefits back to the territory, and in this case, in the case of food, also brings benefits to farmers who are producers of the food which is used in gastronomy. So it's let's say perfect version of that, but it can be also, and this is unfortunately especially now this mass tourism, it brings benefits just to some of those actors involved in tourism, and it also, for example, from the experiences which I have, that food which is served in restaurants is often imported from destinations 1,000 kilometers away, and it's not produced in a sustainable way, and it doesn't bring a fair share of benefits to all actors. So this is something that's I think that Danube Guides are or should be aware, and they should contribute by their guiding to interesting tourist offer, but also to a sustainable development and sustainable societies in the regions involved. So is something for the start, and I hope it was interesting and maybe as a good starting point for our lectures. And now I would give a floor to Marcela, and Marcela, please, and maybe as a beginning, just short introduction from your side, because I think that's also the story and actually the experience which we have in tourism is are very interesting and very gives some additional experiences.
Thank you very much, Uroš, for invitation. Dear guests, good afternoon. I'm Marcela Klofutar from Radovljica. Today, I can say that this is the sweetest town in the world. But 13 years ago, nobody knew Radovljica. So my story will be the story how the whole community worked together and puts the destination on the tourist map. So approximately 13 years ago in our town, which is only 7 kilometers from really famous Lake Bled and 25 from Lake Bohinj, started to work together. So all restaurants, all artists, farmers, craftsmen, and the local tourist board started to work hand in hand. And this is the key to success. And then we checked what are our unique selling points. So we checked that we have a gingerbread tradition, 200 years old, that we have really famous apiculture museum. So honey, that we have a long tradition of chocolate with a chocolate factory 100 years old. And this was the next really special thing about our town. A lot of culture, nature, also other museums. But this was not enough. So the quality of all stakeholders, all restaurants, all services, hotels, all museums is really important. So we started to have informal community of first all restaurants in Taste Radovljica. So the next question was how to monitor the quality. So we invited Slovenian critics, and they have to monitor our quality every 2 years. Then also really important was that the restaurant got a Michelin star and also a green star for sustainability. And also that we are a part of international gastronomic chains and we can share our experiences. And also Green Key certificate is really important to monitor every year. So our electricity in all these environmental aspects of sustainability. And all restaurants in Taste Radovljica, they have this. So if we work hand in hand in the same direction with all the aspects of sustainability included in our model, then we can have a success. And now we can really say that we are from the sweetest town in the world and people believe us. And what can a small business like ours do in the destination? So we also started our business when the local tourist board was open, approximately 12, 13 years ago. We were small. We still have only 11 employees. We started without money, but with a lot of passion and belief. And we started with connections with partners. So first we went around to local suppliers, local peasants, farmers, artists. So first we had to know what our community offers, what we have. So sometimes people say, oh, we don't know nothing. But sometimes we don't see this beauty. So we just have to open eyes and go around, knock on the doors, and people, suppliers, farmers, artists, they will open the doors, and in a few years or more, we can be partners. So in our house, it's really important that we don't seek expansion, but quality, that we are constantly involved. And we really believe that the money is a consequence of passion and hard work. And we believe that our business is the most creative, because if we involved all the partners in our business, we are the showroom of the destination. So restaurants are showrooms of the destination. And also if we incorporate all aspects of sustainability, then we can be still all here tomorrow, not only today. And this is the key point of sustainability. So everybody in the destination can put all aspects of sustainability in the business model. And this means we all can be creative, and at the end, we maintain the community, which is really important. So locals have to live in the community, and then the community will be interesting also for tourists. So we usually talk about sustainability only about zero-waste, environmental sustainability, but for us, this is to maintain the community for tomorrow. So the environmental aspect is only one. It's really important. We have to monitor all stuff, water, electricity, waste consumption. And also, if we find really authentic, ecological suppliers, then we can explore more with them. We can check what dishes were cooked 100 years ago and almost disappeared, what ingredients used our grandmothers, grandfathers, and we can be really creative. So as Uroš said, a lot of restaurants buy ingredients from all over the world, and this is how they don't support the community. And if they will do so in the future, the community will disappear because nobody will be there, and it won't be different for other communities. What is the key point of tourism in the future, of the really responsible tourists, which they want to know more about our culture, tradition, nature. They want to be us for a few weeks or months in the destination or in the country. So really important is the next aspect, which is economical. So we are like a role model in the destination. If locals want to be our partners, that we buy from them, they also have to build their business model in the sustainable way. So this is how we push our suppliers, that they change their business model, and then this roller coaster goes in the future. But this is one really important point, that sometimes local ingredients, local products are more expensive than products from the supermarkets. So we have to put local value of the local above value for money. So this is really important. And maybe in the future, we will change our economical system, because more important for me, for us, is that the neighbor will be still alive tomorrow. Then maybe I will spend less for one item. But at the end, I could have more added value because of all local stories in our product. So, for example, local breakfast. Sometimes you go to a huge hotel and they are just open these plastic bags and they put cheese, ham, everything, a huge amount of products on the table, but they are all without soul and passion, without stories, and they are like dead products. But if we put local products with soul, maybe some local producers, they come and they explain. So all our products are then alive. They are full taste. They have story of the farmer, of the tradition, of everything. So of our life. If we serve the real Alpine breakfast, all guests are impressed, because if they come to our destination, they want to taste something else, not what they eat every day in their everyday's life. So this is how we push local partners to put sustainability into their model and to cooperate with us, and also to other Taste Radovljica restaurants, which also have this type of business models. But still, we are all different, but we follow the same values. But we all have different stories, also different types of kitchen, different houses, different locations. And this is what makes our destination unique and various. So the same values, but richness of different stories. And also important that will be still here tomorrow is to include local people, local employees in our business. Also, vulnerable group. We have a training center for people with special needs, and we also have them in our company, and we also buy local ceramics from them. So everybody can find a place in our business. And this is also to open eyes to all people, that everybody can do something for the future, for the community. And if we become partners, not competitors, we can really have a nice life and we can develop together. So we all talk about biodiversity, but we don't talk about cultural diversity, which is also really essential. You know, Slovenia has 49 officially dialects, and this is the big richness of our country. And almost every village has a new dialect, and also in every house the mom makes a little bit different strukli and potica, and this is so rich. So this is what we want to preserve in our destination, and we want to be the role model for all Slovenia and also the world, because life can be so happy and tourism can be so powerful to preserve this biodiversity and cultural diversity for the future. But at the end, we're still in the capitalistic system. But at the end, if we put all these perspectives into our business models, at the end, it pays off, because our products, our food, our events, they have soul, because we put so many stories about all local people into the products. So at the end, it seems really simple, but maybe it's not at the beginning, because people doubt about sharing ideas, sharing thoughts, show their models, show their ideas. But when we find out that we all have our own stories which are different, then we can work together. And also guests, they want to taste different restaurants when they come to the destination. They don't want to eat only in my restaurant. I send them to others, but I have to be sure that they will have really a quality experience then. And this is the responsibility which is the key to success in the destination. And if you're a local, in your local destination, you're really responsible because you meet local people all the time on the street and you can't hide yourself. So you have to believe in what you do, and you have do it with the passion in the heart, and at the end money comes, as I already said. So if we monitor all this energy consumption, all these things, at the end we spend less, we get a reputation in the society. Also we can get people, they want to work with us. We all know that it's really important and really difficult to find employees, especially locals, and they are essential for our tourism economy, because I think only local people can share local stories, especially in the service. Maybe in the kitchen also others can help, but we still need local people to help us to work. So every company, if they want to be in this tourist circle for the future, they have to build their own sustainable operating model. And I think ours quite simple. So the environmental is according the Green Key certificate, and all others are because we are connected in the destination. So we are connected with almost everybody, and everybody can enter into our business model. Everybody is welcome. Maybe on the first hand, you think that maybe somebody couldn't suit into your company, but at the end, the best solutions come out when on the first sight you think that it won't work together. So if we are connected with producers, we can develop new products. Then with vulnerable groups, we are more open. With artists and craftsmen, they can upgrade our ambience. They can help to develop our events. Also with museums, with inns, with schools, we have to build young people for the future. With local farmers market. So then we can be creative. All the time we learn from each other. And also our guests are always curious, because our guests come to the destination not only hungry with the stomach, but also hungry with the soul. They're always asking, what's new, what's new? So we can't build new products alone. We have to make a really strong community of partners, and then we can share knowledge, experiences, ideas, and then we can be creative and we can offer something new to our guests. For example, how our chef, our team creates a new dish. Our chef, he's a real farmer. He comes from Radovljica, 5 kilometers from Radovljica. He has his own old tepka trees. This is authentic pear. His own horses. He speaks in a dialect. So he can put his values, his authenticity to the plate. I'd like to say here that a lot of chefs would like to make nice plates, but first you have to know yourself, and then you have to transfer all the things you saw in other restaurants to the plate through you, and then the dish can be good. And also there's question about, that market is changing, the world is changing, and there's every year more people from India, China, and sometimes they don't want just local. But we have also a lot of young people who traveled around and they maybe fell in love in the Indian food or Thai food or Chinese food. And with a lot of knowledge and the passion with local ingredients, a lot of local ingredients, they can make also fusion plates with also some other influences. So this is what we will have to think about in the future, because now the trend of local, traditional, sustainable, it is. But we will preserve our future only if we will be a little bit open. If we will just say, no, this is ours, we don't want to do something else. You know, the history of the human being is to develop all the time. So with attention, but we still have to be open-minded and open, and slightly also have something else. So we will. It depends on the chefs, on cooks, what they want to do, and if they work with passion, also the food will be good. And this you can taste from the plate, the difference, the variety of visions, of values of chefs. If you see the chef and the plate, it has to be a little bit similar. So the farmer, the food, really local on the food. Like a chef, more fusion with tattoos, also more world kitchens on the plate. So this is also important, how to explain, because now every restaurant just, we're local, but they are not. They are worldwide, some of them. They were traveling around, and this is how they change themselves, and this is also then you can check from the food. But our chef is local. This is also good for us. He makes these dishes already for 20 years, but it was also the process that he found himself. So how to find old dishes almost forgotten. For example, gorenska želočak, this is a sausage with the millet porridge. It's really difficult to get in the restaurant, because now we're fighting with pizzas, burgers, and so on, and we also have to show to young people all these traditional dishes, especially parents at home and also at schools. So we are passionate to explore tradition, old dishes, how were they used in the history, with what side dishes were served. And here also important in our restaurant is on what plate are they served. So we want to put all these aspects of sustainability on the dish, so we can explain stories about ingredient, about the supplier, about the habits according this dish, and also the plate on which this dish is served. For example, also sometimes aspect of the zero waste is always really important. So if you buy ecological ingredients, local ingredients, seasonal, if you maybe in the summer put a lot of ingredients in the vinegar, so you have pickled things you store them for the winter, then you can really use the whole ingredient. Also, if you have a good booking system in the restaurant, that you know in advance how many guests will come, how many courses they will have, what dishes they will have. So you need more information in advance, and then you can have reduced waste at the beginning. So at the end, if you buy ecological, so you can use the whole ingredient. If you know how many guests you will have in the restaurant, then you can be really zero waste. We have only problems with the bones and maybe with the wine bottles. So this is really a big challenge, how to maybe find partners in the other industry where they use this for their new products. For example, this is the fish from the fish farm, and we use the whole fish. So also heads, bones for the soup, then trout caviar, so then also the cheeks. And also sometimes when we, in the restaurants like ours, people just want to have fillets. They are used to have fillets, but if you put the whole fish in the wrap of bread, then you can put also other ingredients of the fish. And again, you can use the whole fish. So this is really nice because we have to be creative. Otherwise, if we're not, our life is black and white. If we're creative, our white is really in colors, and we know each other, and we know our essence of our nation. For example, this dish was also forgotten. It's a dish from Croatia. It's an iron forging village 7 kilometers from our town, where our chef was always with his grandmother, and she made this dish every Saturday after the service in the church. And there's also the story of the dish, because there were iron forging people working 16 hours per day, and this veal stew was all the time about this fire they worked with, so they could eat all the time. So these are stories that we can share with our guests, and also the plates, the cups where this was served. And even more important is that dish would disappear if we wouldn't then, with the professor of ethnology who is responsible for gastronomic strategy in Slovenia, he put the dish into this strategy. So we preserve it for the future. And this is really important work of all chefs, that they preserve our cultural heritage, gastronomical heritage. They find some almost forgotten dishes and they save them for the future. Then also we can put on the stage food, famous food of famous local people. We all know in Radovljica, in Slovenia, Plečnik architecture, but on the same period, also Vurnik from our hometown architecture was really famous. So when people come to our house, we also serve dishes he loved to serve, he loved to eat, and we also put the motifs of his masterpieces on our table, on ceramics, on the cups. And then we can tell stories about his masterpieces. They can get his map and they can go on the trip through his masterpieces in our destination and also in Slovenia. So this is how we can promote really interesting people through food. We always say the table is really important. All important things are behind the table. So if we are creative around the table, we can have really rich life, also at home. All problems, all big things are behind the table. If we are a lot, often around the table, then we really talk a lot and we know new things and we have really, really nice life. For example, pear, really small, brown, really not nice looking pear, always on the floor, but it has a great tradition. In the time of Austro-Hungarian Empire, the Emperor Maria Theresia ordered to plant these trees near streets that everybody could pick up this pear on the floor. And she saved a lot of people because they were hungry. But now nobody knows nothing about the pear. It's ugly, it's small. And then we started a project and we found out that it was really essential that you can keep this dry pear in the cellar for 25 years and it's still good. You can cook it like we do in a herbal tea and then put in the chocolate. We can make new products with the pear. For example, our authentic sausage with a pear, and it's a little bit sweet sausage. Then we can make juice with the local juice producers from the pear. We can make like a flour from the pear and bake bread. So these are stories our guests they want to hear, and these are also stories how to be creative, and how to do something else. So how to preserve the tree because people started to cut trees. Now, according our new project, and also that other chefs found out that this pear is really important for the kitchen, people started to plant these trees. And this is again how we will preserve one local ingredient for the future. Next thing, because sometimes Slovenians said, oh, we don't have nothing, we have just putica and strukli and that's it. But we have so many things. We just have to be open-minded. We have to open books. We have to go around. We have to ask old people. We have to ask our grandmothers and grandfathers, and then we can find new things. So this is, for example, pasta from the village 40 kilometers from here. It's called Rateče village, and the stuffing in the village, it's interesting with also with a pear, that one I showed before, and some porridge. But we can use the shape, and then we can put another fillings in this shape of the pasta. So it's again the story of the old traditional shape of the, we can tell more about the village. Then we put a new filling in the pasta, so we can tell about supplier, where she is, where this cheese is produced. People can go and they visit the farm. So again, we can tell so many things, and also of the local artist. She did the plate from the ceramics, and they can also go there and they can check how she does this. And we're also really proud that we serve dish from the first cooking book in Slovenian language. If I ask you, you're from different countries, do you know where your country got the first cooking book? So when I ask our guests, especially Americans, they say, oh, maybe Slovenians, you've got the first cooking book 10 years ago. No, we've got the first cooking book in 1799. So this is the dish from that book. Again, a really nice story, full of tradition, of proudness, of the time this dish was first written in the cooking book. So these are ideas how you can put all different cultural stories, all stories about famous people, about suppliers on the plate. And then again, if we have the chain of different partners, we can make really interesting events. Like our town was also important in the time of Baroque, and we made a nice Baroque party in the town, so with Baroque dances, but with attention to today. So how the human society changed from that time? We changed or we didn't change. We still love abundance or we don't. We're really sustainable or we are not. We really want to still have abundance, but we're hiding behind sustainability. So these are things we should discuss all the time, deeply in our soul and heart. So this is the event which shows how many important things were invented in the Baroque period. All famous artists like Haydn, Bach, Vivaldi, they are still important for today's music. And then the food, which food was there, abundance of everything, what is today. Then the champagne was discovered by accident in the Baroque time. So we still have these wines. There was the time of imperialism, so a lot of new things were imported to Europe, also chocolate and exotic fruits. So also this is still important for us. And we want to show that if we create events like this, and then we can invite also children from schools, and they can check the certain period alive, and they will remember this for the whole life, not from the PowerPoint in the classroom. So this is how we again are creative. We have good time, but we also do something good for the community. And then we have a lot of local artists. I guess you all have in your communities. Do you invite them to make an exhibition in your house? So we have a lot of old houses in the Radovljica, and we started the project that in every house we will offer our walls to local artists, so academic artists, really famous, not still famous, but that we will help them, that they can exhibit, and they can also explain their visions, philosophies, and local people are really excited about this because they come and they go around and they also buy something. So we want to help them. And also our houses are alive with their crafts, with their work, with their art. So again, win-win combination. Really a lot of this win-win combination, but usually we don't see them. We have to go around with open eyes. Then events on the farm, on the farm. So if we buy from local suppliers, we could also come to the farm and we can have events there. And this is the real event from the farm to the table. And this is also how we educate our guests and also how we put farmers on the stage. This is important, that not only chefs are on the stage, but chefs with all chain of partners are on the stage. Once a month, we have local farmers market and we invite them, all our suppliers, artists, and the main goal is also that suppliers start to cooperate, that they know each other, they meet, and then slowly they also create products together. So together, 1 + 1 is 3, not 2. This is really important. And it's our town is alive because it was not alive, and local people come. This is important. Then also locals and tourists meet. So it has to be the right amount of local people that the destination is alive, and also locals maybe find some new ideas and they start a new business, which can then contribute also to the richness of our destination, of our community. Again, really the most important are restaurants, because if there's no restaurant in the destination, there's no tourism. There's no tourism because we are showrooms of the destination. And if we have only apartments and with lockers and there's no people who would accept guests and tell them a little bit of our life, and they will buy food in the supermarkets, I think they won't get some special impression of Slovenia. So this is, maybe we're sometimes too lazy, but we have to welcome guests in our houses. I think we should remove all lockers from our apartments or hotels or somewhere else. So this is what makes the differences of the destination, if they're live people. So I think we shouldn't be afraid about AI, because our business will survive, will be alive only with live local people on the destination. And at the end, we will be the winners. So I think this is really, really important. So our farmers on the stage, for example, fish farm from near Bohinj Lake, a really creative guy. And with our chef, they created also trout caviar. 10 years ago, we were buying trout caviar from Austria, but then they said, why we are doing this? So we should sit together and we should find out how we will prepare this. And this is interesting that we can invite him to our restaurant, and in front of our guests, we can take trout caviar from the trouts. And trouts are still alive. He puts them back to the water. You can see, I hope you can see the trout caviar, but this is the luxury. Luxury are not golden frames, but this is the luxury. That people can see this and they can taste this. This is the richness, the big richness. And these are things we have around us, but we don't see them. So go around with open eyes. So go around to farmers, talk with them, explore how they live, how they think, what they eat. They will share with you also some traditional instructions for food, and also we can help them to be more, so we can promote them. Interesting is that we also, with our local farmers market, we were invited to other destinations. So we all can come to Ljubljana Castle, to other destinations, and to offer all these products, richness of our food to guests on other destinations. And also important is that all these farmers developed their products as a culinary souvenirs. So if you put trout caviar in a nice cup, if you have a smoked trout in the vacuum, people can take this home as a culinary souvenir, because if we travel around, we need something, we want to buy something to eat at home with our friends, to share the taste of the country we were in. So this is also important, that we upgrade all these products of our local farmers into our dishes and into culinary souvenirs people can take home. And then important is that we share our knowledge through different informal schools. We offer a school for culinary lovers and school for children. As I said before, parents, they don't have time sometimes to cook at home, and then they come to the restaurant and they say, oh, our children, they eat only French fries and the chicken in fried chicken. But then we said, oh, maybe they would come to our cooking class and they would prepare things by themselves for you. And it's really worth. They eat also carrots and vegetables and things like this. So we can invite local artists also to our restaurants. They can be in the one part of the restaurants, and only people, guests, they can go there and they can have experience also with local artists. They can upgrade also our services, our products, and also local ceramics. Also, you know, if we want to be sustainable, we have to put together all broken plates or broken glasses and find a local artist, and he can make something new, so he can recycle from this. We already have some new pieces of art. So we have to invite young people to our business to make practice from the catering schools in our all restaurants. We can put on the stage young people, and it's really important that we work hand in hand from the bottom. If we are together, we are strong. One restaurant is not strong, but when we are together, we work together, we show some new products, and then we can also demand things from local authorities and also from the government. But first, we have to do something. Because I don't want people, they said, oh, the government doesn't do nothing, the mayor does, he doesn't want to do nothing. But first we have to ask ourselves, what have we done? And if we are together, if we work together, then we are strong. All revolution came from the bottom, not from the top, because on the top everybody feels good. So how we have to operate in the future, also today, we have to think, and we have to open our business and to invite almost everybody can upgrade our business. We will buy from locals and maybe sometimes give more money to locals. So we will put different values on the top. And with these partners, we can then create authentic products, food, events with the soul, because people feel if we put energy into our products, or we will just complain and wait for somebody that they will help us. And we have to ask ourselves, are we passionate about our work? are we creative and are we happy? We can be happy if we are connected and if we work that tomorrow the neighbor will be still there. So thank you very much. If somebody has some questions, I'm available. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marcela, for this very comprehensive and above all very inspiring presentation, and that you show that the tourism, especially gastronomy tourism, is it has so many dimensions, and it can bring so many let's say benefits and so many qualities to the local community. I have now a question from Miss LENA about the green certificate. So I think you have this green key and this daisy, yeah?
You know, yeah, we have like a green Michelin star and green key. So there's a vision of a Slovenian tourism. Really, they work really good. So they are great. And it's like if you want that National Tourist Board will support stakeholders, we all have to have some green certificate. So this is a must. This is a must. Otherwise, you're not on the tourist map. They won't invite you to tourist events, to fairs, to any events. So this is a must. And through this green key, we monitor our environmental aspects of sustainability. But the other green star, so you know, Michelin is really a mystery. So if you check web pages, you won't find nothing. They are just writing that the green star is a word for restaurants which work today for tomorrow and which are like a role model for the destination. So this is the explanation. And I think this green star for us is because we are really connected in the destination and that we push other stakeholders, other partners to put more responsible operating models, so more sustainable. And that also a lot of stakeholders want to do like we do. So this is the explanation.
Good. And what was the procedure? I mean, what were the requirements for this certificate and
a green key certificate?
Yeah.
You have a lot of questionnaires you have to monitor. You have to really monitor every month electricity, water. Also, you need a lot of local suppliers. So all these environmental aspects of sustainability you have to monitor. And you have to set goals for the future. What will you do that you will be more sustainable regarding maybe you will have more greenhouses, you will have electric car, you will have more ecological eco suppliers. How you will you reduce waste? How you will be zero waste? So all this stuff, and this is good because it pushes you that you think about these things. You know, especially small business. We don't have time. We are multitasking. So once a year we have to sit down and we have to really systematically monitor all these numbers, and we have to also put some new goals for the future. And then the commission comes, and then we talk, and we together we check all these results, and then we set goals for the next year. So you have different green certificates in Europe. Maybe this is more for small businesses, but you have also others. So I think, and also you have to pay about €500 per year. So this is you know, also, if you pay for something, then you're even more responsible because you don't want to waste your money.
Yeah. And it's European, yeah, because the LENA asked this also for Moldova, and I think probably it is like pan-European. Yeah.
It's European, but our tourist board, National Tourist Board, so you need one of these European certificates, and then they give you national, like green cuisine, green accommodation, green events. And you have, if you have one of these green certificates, then you can be a part of the Slovenian tourism family. Otherwise, you're not. So if you will want to survive in the future, you need, this is a must. I can say from my practice, so we have requests for team buildings from different companies like banks. They already have departments for sustainability, and they come to our house because they want to hear our business model, and they have to get new ideas to their business model. So this is also how you can get more guests from totally different fields of economy. So this is now, we can really feel step by step that this is really essential if we want to survive in the future. So without this, if it will be generic, these destinations will go down in the future, because tourists are all more aware of everything. They are more curious. They really want to know the culture, the future, the tradition of the nation. This is why we're traveling around. This is our responsibility, that we preserve all this. Otherwise, why they would come? You know, devastating tourism destinations because they didn't think in the right direction. So now we have still time to change the business, the model on the destinations, maybe if we see that it goes in the wrong direction.
Yes, I think that's something that's also it's useful and the true also for this entire region where also the guides and the agencies are coming from. I think that all this area in Europe has a lot to offer, but it has to be, as you presented, it has to be offered in a right community-aware way, and also to be preserved and to stay here. Yeah.
We really have a lot of different workshops in Radovljica Old Town, but like four people, director of tourist board, the lady from the chocolate from another museum, me, we are working every week. We are sitting every week persistently, and then we do on all this stuff, and we invite new people, we help them, because we have to know that we are different. But at the end, it's really important that everybody is a part of this community, and everybody participate, but according his own energy. So we can't say, oh, he was just once on the meeting, he did like just this, but at least he did just this. So we need all. And if somebody is with more energy, more time, and participates more, good. If somebody has less, it's also okay. So we are different. This is really also important if we want to work together.
There's some other question at this point. As I said, we'll have also some possibility at the end, a kind of discussion. But does somebody else has a question at this moment? You can either raise hand, just switch on the microphone and tell, or write in the chat.
Maybe, Marcela, I can ask you a question. Do you include guided tours in your concept of your destination? Yeah. And how?
And this was so important, but we included first free guided tours for locals, for local people, because locals, they don't know nothing about the town. So this was the first really important thing. Every Tuesday, a certain hour, it's a free guided tour through the town. So this is how we involved with local people, and then they also got some ideas what they could do, how could they participate. And we together also have a few events for locals that we give them information what's going on the national level of the tourism, what is the European money, so they could find some ideas for their businesses. And what is also missing in our destination. It was interesting that we started with the chocolate festival, chocolate. So this was really important that it was the essential thing that Radovljica was famous. And the director that time of the local tourist board, she was searching for somebody who would open the chocolate house. And nobody opened, so she did. She quit the business, and now she has a really great chocolate house with workshops, with some pralines, with again local feelings. So this is really important that we inspire locals that they come. And also guides, yes, we invite agencies that we show them our products. For example, twice a year. And also their guides are really welcome, very welcome, because they need to know what's going on.
One question from Anastasia. She's interested in the building of the restaurant it's the private property. Is it your or the municipality, or it's like rent, or it's
We offer totally different programs, you know. Also the Baroque party starts in the mansion, which is from the municipality, and then we go to our house. So the whole town, but it's not only our town, the municipality is from different small villages. Also Brezia with the biggest pilgrimage church in Slovenia, with Kropa iron forging village, with Ausenik, music, Elan factory. So this is all in our community, and we all work hand in hand. So the Radovljica is center, but sometimes we also create events in other small villages. But we have really agreement with the municipality, because we're not only one small hotel and a restaurant, but we can provide together 50 rooms in the old town on the destination. We can provide breakfast once in one restaurant, the other day in the other restaurant. So we want to show all possibilities to our guests, and we also have guided tours through the whole museums, other restaurants. So we have culinary tour that people eat in different restaurants, one plate, and also in museums, and they can find out the history, culture, gastronomy at the same time. So no, we do together. Also different houses, different from different owners. So we're together.
Okay, and thinking also that the part of the question was also the is it the building of the restaurant is your ownership? It's
it is mine.
Yeah. Okay, and just a question from me. How do you see the role and let's say the characteristic of currently of the guides, the tourist guides who come with, maybe do they come sometimes with groups to your restaurant or some of your events? Are they enough, how to say, they have enough information about this dimension of gastronomy and this connection between gastronomy and community?
Yeah, you know, we have local tourist guides, and this is really essential. And a lot of agencies, they hire local tourist guides. and they know because we teach them. They are our guests. They know how is in one restaurant, another restaurant. So I think really important is that we really have local tourist guides at the destination. So I think this is the key to success, because also if the local, I also, when we welcome guests for this culinary tour, 3 local ladies together 150 years. So we live here really long time, and people trust us immediately because we can really share experience about our town to our guests. Otherwise, I am also a tourist guide, and then depends on every guide that goes to that destination and is curious and knows more. But we also have these educations for tourist guide for certain regions, also on national level. So they are quite good skilled, but before every tour, you can check the destinations and specifics, and then decide if you can do on your own, or it's better to cooperate with the local guide.
Thank you. I think it's also a good argument because here among this the Danube guides, of course, they are locals from their destination, and this is also arguments to hire the local, because he knows, and he also has some emotional attachment to the area. So it's a good advantage, and also something for the local. Okay, I will now just so that's thank you a lot again, and thank you for all the experiences. Also, let's say also some instructions, so some ideas what can be done also somewhere else, and also how important is that we all cooperate together, as this is also one of the ideas behind this network of Danube Guides, so that entire region has to cooperate.
Yeah, just the last sentence. We have great local tourist board, and this is really important, because all stakeholders of businesses, we have so much work in our business, and they help us to cooperate, meetings, all things behind, they do all paperwork. So this is essential. Thank you.
Thank you. We had a really great first lecture, and now I would give floor to Lucija, Gartner from Bohinj region, who will represent her from, we can say, from different perspectives, because she knows from different perspectives the experience of collective brand from Bohinjsko, which is also the important parts of this brand are local food products from Bohinj region, and also the food services. So Lucija, floor is yours.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's hard to have a floor after Marcela Klofutar, but I will try my best. My name is Lucija Gartner. As Uroš already said, I think the word is amphibian. So I've sat on 2 chairs. I'm a farmer now, but I've worked for several years at the local tourist board in a destination management organization, focused as a coordinator on Bohinjsko from Bohinj collective brand. And currently, for the last 4 or 5 years, I'm focusing on the work on my farm together with my brother. I've always worked at the farm, but before I was a volunteer free worker to help around. So I'll talk about the different aspects from the local community, and also as a farmer. So the regional, local, and also a from the part of a stakeholder. So Bohinj region, it's the same region, wider region, Julian Alps. So Marcela said she's at the entrance of the Julian Alps. We are somewhere in the stomach. So Bohinj region, the whole municipality, it's the 2/3 lakes in the Triglav National Park. And our main attraction is Bohinj Lake, so one of the 2 bigger lakes in Slovenia, which attracts, of course, in the summer also a lot of visitors, hikers in the national park, and all other people who want to do different activities in the area. So just to have a representation of the how many nights is in the whole area. So in the whole year, 2024, there were almost 700 overnight stays, and there's only 5,000 residents living in this area. So yeah, the overnight stays are still, as I said, focus in the summer months, but yeah, we try to make a season longer in the also we'd say the calmer nights, calmer months, as also they're doing in the other destinations like Radovljica with different projects. So because of the position of the municipality of Bohinj, so we're focusing a lot on the biodiversity, since most of the area is protected either by National Park, Natura 2000, because of the push of the visitor, especially in the summer months, we are focusing on the green mobility. And because there's the ratio between the locals and the tourists, it's, as we can see, there's not many locals in the area. We are started to focus in 2012 also to build on a local brand and give them that the tourism would be more in the wind in their sales. And push them to work on their own project and to live out of the stakeholders would live out of what they do, and they would be promoted, and people would find them also through the local brand Bohinjsko from Bohinj. So it's a quality brand. It started because I was not a part of the project yet, but products and produce and crafts from Bohinj area were very well cherished, so much that other people started to put the name of Bohinj on their products, even though the products were not connected with any kind, not with the sources, not with the production line. They were not from Bohinj. They just started to build their image on Bohinj. So that's why the locals raised and said, we want to do something, we want to protect our tradition, our produce, and they established a Bohinjsko from Bohinj brand. It also became one of the sustainable tourism models, which is focusing on local people as their first priority. The tourism development strategy for Bohinj was written in 2012 with the 30 tasks and with the straight goals, what to do and how to do this kind of model. So to promote locals and to help them to live and to do economically well, the Quality Center was established. They redesigned the Bohinj brand as the whole community, not just the local brand of Bohinjsko from Bohinj, and they made a quality certificate. I will say in a few minutes how this is made and how the things are made and run in our local community. So first, with the experts from different fields, from ethnology, culinary experts, locals, universities, NGOs, municipality, the regulations were written down for awarding the certificate to the producers and stakeholders, later on also guided experiences and accommodations. There was also a preparation of evaluation sheets. There's many of them, more than 80 for each, mostly for each individual product and for different types of experiences and different types of accommodation. There are different evaluation sheets that the experts can follow, and that you're able to follow the lines, the guidelines as a producer to have a high standards of the products and the produce in the Bohinj. So if you want to apply and if you want to get the certificate, first you have to apply for the open call. There's usually 3 to 4 of them per year. Then either your product or your restaurant or your dish or your accommodation gets evaluated by external experts. We tried to avoid to have this subjective look on what we do, because for ourselves we always think we're the best. Of course we know that sometimes we are not, but it's better that maybe someone from an outside looks on what we do and try to improve and tell us what we can improve in the future, so our produce will be better for us to sell it, to have a higher value, and also that the guests who visit us will be satisfied with what they find in the local market. Then you get a decision, either you got the quality brand, so you're part of it, you got the certificate or not. If you didn't get it, the story doesn't end immediately. You get, of course, the evaluation sheets and also the report from the experts on what you can do. And then in the quality center, you have many helpers, from graphic designers, how to develop your tastes, how to pack things to improve what you do. So we have different groups of the certificates, or different groups where the certificates are given. So we have culinary products, arts and crafts, industrial products and contemporary design, dishes and drinks in restaurants, and since 2018, also accommodations and experiences and guided tours. So the certification was really important to make. We as locals, we knew each other. Almost everyone knew what everyone else is doing, but not till the last dot. And for the bigger accommodations, for the bigger organization, it was really important that they got the register of the stakeholders and a quality guarantee for ourselves and also for the visitors. If you visit the area, that you're able to find what's the best in the area. So you're not just searching for the nice nature, which we have plenty of, but you're also able to taste what we are doing, to experience, to talk to people what we are doing in the area. And with the certificate, we guide you to the people in this area who are living here constantly. So also the platform for connecting stakeholders was created. They're also almost the same as in Radovljica. There's many meetings within different sectors or within the whole brand through the whole year. So we are able to develop on a local level and see and guide through the future years what we have to do to improve our living in this area. And of course, the quality of producers and services is kind of guided through the incubator to develop new entrepreneurial ideas, or to develop the ideas the producers here who are well set in the area can still build on. And all together we build on a short chain supplies. Plus we get a joint promotion of stakeholders through the brand, through the Bohinj tourist destination, through the strategy, through the network websites inside and outside of Bohinj, because as one individual producer, you're harder, or basically almost impossible, I would say, to reach as wide community as you're able to reach if you work as a whole community together, money-wise and promotional and story-wise. So this is, as we said, also encouraging local population to develop. So you have bigger offers, you're able to create jobs, and the experts are able constantly to advise you on what to do next. So you develop from maybe a product that was good, similar products that are better sold, easier to sold, smaller, more connected to, I don't know, that the people can take them with you. So one of the examples here, we can see there's a local pipe. The tradition of pipe making goes on for more than 200 years in the area, but no one is smoking them anymore. So it's the smoking pipe with the insertion of mother of pearl. So with the graphical designers, this Srečko Lotrić, he developed new products, ornaments, buttons, earrings, which are now wider sold also in the info center. They're used as gifts, and plus because of the wider promotion of this kind of crafts, also the selling of the primary products of the smoking pipes went higher. Then they help also to optimize some of the processes of the craft products, culinary products. So we can see this is one of the children's games, which is very widespread in this area. So from the first product that they came to when they applied for the open call to get the certificate for this game, they developed it later on with the graphic designer. It's easier to make. It looks a bit nicer. The costs of making are lower, and the story of the game and of the producer is then included also at the local crafts. Then this is an example of building on the culinary products, farmers products. So we can see Tunečova skuta. So they were printing their own labels, which is nowadays not economically sustainable for even for a farmer, because you can get it cheaper elsewhere. So they designed a new labels for just for this farmer, and also advised them that through the years they found more sustainable packaging. So they went from packaging in plastic to all the packaging in glass, returnable glass, so they're able to wash it and build it. They can build also graphics for different farmers, so each of them, they can still be included in local brand, plus they still tell their own story, fresh story of what they do. So to optimize also the costs of the small producers, at the end I'm gonna show you how many we are included in the local brand. The tourist board organization buys in bulk several products that are then easier to be bought by smaller producers. So like paper bags. So you're only able, if you want, you only can go and buy 50 of them. And you will get them on the same price as if you would buy 10,000 paper bags at once, because the organization buys them at once for everyone, and then you can just go get it. Also, the size of the labels was optimized. A lot of the producers are using the same sizes or similar sizes of the labels. So we created 3 different optimized sizes with 30 millimeters, 50 millimeters, and 76 millimeters, and the orders are going out at once several times per year. So again, if you're a producer having a few gems per year, you would need 300 labels per year, and you would get the same price as the one that needs 10,000 labels per year. So it optimizes the costs for everyone. Plus, you don't need so much of bureaucratic work and calling everyone, because there's a coordinator or the brand doing that for everyone else. Then also gift boxes are designed in a way to promote Bohinjsko from Bohinj or Bohinj area, their stories. So you can have stories which is written for you, just for one stakeholder, or you can also use a bit more generic boxes from the same, from the brand, which is telling the general story of the area. Then it's uplifting the products, making it in a smaller packages so that are more easier to be bought by visitors who want to take them as a culinary product, and they're not able to carry, or they don't want to have half a kilo of a certain special cheese, but they only want to have like 100 or 150 grams to have them try them at their home. And one of the things, so from the primary line, from the ground level where the production is made, so farmers and craftsmen, we build it on also including all the products in the restaurants. So to network a bit more, there was a certification model made that if you would want to get a certificate for your culinary, for your dish in the restaurants, you should use minimum of 30% of local products within Bohinjsko from Bohinj certificate. We're really happy that there are good role models, not just in Bohinj, also outside of Bohinj, as Hisha Linhart with Marcela Klofutar, pushing the ways, and also several in Bohinj, pushing the way and promoting that buying from the good products from the farmers in the local environment is important, and that it's lifting also the value of the produce in the whole area. There were not many restaurants at the beginning included in this certificate, but kind of with the branding, peer pressure was made. So if the neighbor is having the certificate, then the other restaurant also has to do it, and they started to follow each other, and they started also to evaluate what they are doing, and they also started to work on their dishes in the restaurants to present local tradition, or even to have, it doesn't need to be some really special uplifted dish. It can be something ordinary, where you can still try to include some local story in it, like pizza, burger, where there's Mohan cheese, a bit spicy fermented cheese included in it with the PDO certificate, or you can use local cheese or local eggs, sausages, salami. So you can produce different kinds of dishes, and you're still able to buy whatever you can find on the market nearby. So it doesn't need to be also that the produce is super traditional, I would say. So most of the Bohinj production was based on the dairy products and curd meat products. So, but with the imagination, with the help of everyone, finding your own way, you're also able to build a local story on a chocolatery, where you would make a chocolate pralines with the Mohan cheese, so with the cheese with the PDO certificate, or with the cracklings chocolate. So you're still able, for the products which has a bit, which were not originated directly from the Bohinj, but you're still able to tell your own story from this local area. So you can get this nice culinary present, and also follow this image of short chain supplies. So the first level was made in the first evaluation sheets, and the first open calls were made for the restaurants, craftsmen, industrial design, and local produce in 2014. So in 2012, they made a strategy and all the paperwork and the basin of the local brand. In 2014, the first certificate were given to these first 3 groups. And then in 2018, they developed more to work on networking even within the accommodation and some guided experiences. So they try to connect also industrial products and accommodations. We can see an example of the local apartment house where they uplifted with the local graphical designer, the producer of the furniture to their own story and higher level, and with the newer fresher look of the apartments, they included local produced, local breakfast in the area. They lifted the price of their accommodation, and with the higher price, a different structure of the guests started to come to their apartments. So more calmer, family-based hikers. They're really afraid that the thing will get broken, but with the different structure of the guests, you get you're not to be afraid that you have some wild parties going on in your area. So this is the plan. The local producer from of the furniture, not just him, he works also with the smaller manufacturers to work on the details. So we have a line of Bohinj furniture, and then you can add, as we can see, your logos to the bed, to the closets, and everyone else to have a Bohinj vitrina, so selling points, so you're able to represent whatever the best in the area. And now, since you're guides mostly, or walking with guides, I will focus also on how to get the certificate for the guided local experiences and guides. So this is an example on how a guided experience with the Bohinjsko from Bohinj brand connected a restaurant, a craftsman, and an agency, which was mostly focused on having sports activities. So they had an idea that you would have a breakfast or lunch at the lake. So a restaurants made a menu of how to uplift and how to pack everything to go in a sustainable way. Still, they found a special size boxes that they'll be able to be reused. And with the Primož Rauter, so the craftsman, he's mostly living out of making unique backpacks. They made a special backpack where all the bags with the food would fit directly, that you're able to get a bottle of wine with you. And with the agency of Alpine Sport, they designed a special table for the canoe, and they started to promote each other on all of their networks, plus the brand network, to start to sell a new experience from Bohinj area, awarded with Bohinjsko from Bohinj certificate. So if you want to get the certificate as an agency or as a guide, it's a bit the procedure is a bit longer, because the connection on networking is a bit wider than with just applying for with the food products. So first, you would have a meeting with an external expert, so the one which are evaluating your experience based on a walking sheet. So you would go through the details. They would give you, I would not say hints, but guides on what to improve, what you need to still think about it. Then you apply with the application form, which is 5 pages long. So you have to go through everything. You have to write down that you have, of course, permission to operate your business, that everyone has to have, that you have written standards, who is able to guide the same experience. You have to include everything, which partners from the local brand are included, where you stop, where you get the local produce, are you stopping at the restaurant, which farmers are included either through restaurants or different steps, where you talk about the cultural, natural sites, where you stop, what you tell to the people, economically, on what price do you sell the experience, on what networks, how many experiences you already sold. So you should be already operating. You're able to work on the experience you already had, or on guided tour you already had. Maybe you can add some local value, but you have to know how to work in this, so you don't apply with something that would be then condemned to die after maybe a month of two being presented on a website. Then on the day of evaluation, also a part of the tour has to be guided. So the expert would go with you. Of course, not everything is possible to be run because some of the experiences are full day, but at least a part of it is part of the experiences is looked on the site. So where you meet, where you go, what you tell, where you tell what, where's the meeting pool, where you have foods, things like that. Then you just don't. This is the guide tour on the picture with the canyoning. So we just didn't do canyoning part, but otherwise we did everything else with the experts. So we could see if you're able to talk, if you're telling what you told on the paper, if you're also really able to present it in a live, and in how many languages and things like that. Then I will finish for a certain amount of time now with this wider aspect, because I was working at the brand for 5 years. And within these years, I was helping with others to focus them or to guide them to have their own experiences. And meanwhile, our farm, which my parents started in 1999, started to grow more and more. My brother took over it in 2018. So in 2021 was a time that also I started to live and develop on the farm, which we inherited, and to work what I was maybe before more telling to people what they need to do. So now it was my time to try it on ourselves. So we are also one of the in the Triglav National Parks area, a farm, a small, I would say, sustainable farm. This is my family, about 15 years ago. And we are mostly now focused on making cheese and having visits of the different groups directly at the farm. So we always had a farm, and my parents were the one who also built first in around 1993 first apartments to get some extra income, which is really common in the area. And later on in 1999, when my father was the one who decided that he's going to build a cheesemaking business, we started to work and to make a bigger kettle and work on our own food production in the Bohinj area. We are one of the first small producers, farmers, artisan cheese producers in the area. Although the cheese making in Bohinj area is really important, so we are not starting from a scratch, I would say, but we build it on the tradition which were already enrooted in this municipality. So this is the barn and the first building also where the cheese dairy was made. We later developed a bit bigger cheese dairy when my brother took over the farm. We have now a bit bigger one, easier to produce, a bit bigger production. So since 2018, when we inherited everything, we also have first employees. Before, my father was mostly dependent on the volunteer work of his children and his wife to work around. So this is our ripening room. But nevertheless, that we now developed a bit, I would say it's a bit more modern cheese dairy. We are still so well connected with the traditional cheesemakers. We're one of the rare families which in the summertime still goes to the higher mountain pasture. It's called Planina Ulazu, where we stay for about 3 months, and all the productions happen in the pasture. We're well connected with the local community there because you cannot work on your own. Plus we maintain, I would say, hardly also this higher pasture, which are well promoted not only in Bohinj area, but also wider in Slovenia. And because all of the things we do, as I said, we're one of the first smaller producers, farm producers in the area. We do the mountain pastures. So a lot of people, tourist boards, guides, agencies started to send inquiries if they could visit our farm, try our products directly at the farm, and maybe try to how to make cheese. So I would say, I think already in 2010, first part of the barn was renovated in a way that we could accept guests. Later on, my father also built a smaller model of the cheese dairy, I would say, where we are able to have a cheese workshops, butter workshops, and within the last 5 years, we also prepared like a packages for the visitors. So we're able to accept from 1 to 2 persons up to 60 of them at once, and based on their time, interests, we can prepare them different variations of degustations, just cheese, a small amount of cheese, other products we're making, other products from other farms, butter workshops, or they can even make their own cheese directly at the farm. And of course, if we wanted to be part of the whole community, we started to think how to also become with the experiences at the farm part of the local brand. So most of the production or the produce you're able to taste at the farm is certificated with the local so Bohinjsko from Bohinj certificate. You can see it at the labels of the cheese, butter, everything. But because we are renovating the kitchen and everything, we also then decided that we will include as much as local as possible. So we also ordered a wooden plate from the same craftsman we saw before making smoking pipes. And then with the experts, with the evaluation of the experts, we did some more of the promotional material, different story of representation, and I wouldn't say of course, but we were awarded with Bohinjsko from Bohinj certificate also for the experience at the farm. So it's not necessary that it's experience which is the certificate for experiences is only given to the agencies, but it can be also given to the smaller producers. And I'm happy to tell that we're working well. Most of the visits, the tastings is sold through the local and Slovenian agencies. We have with each year more and more visits. This year, we are now end of November. We had, I think I counted, yes, if I counted corrected, around 140 visits of different groups, smaller or bigger, in a year 2024. So this is a way how to also upbring or uplift your products and to sell them, I would say, long-wise on a higher value. So with this, we are not just following our own strategy. We are not just following the local strategy. We are also basically following, as Marcela already said, a Slovenian strategy, which is focused on sustainable development, of networking of the produce in the area. So to get from base material through the products, to the local experience, which is connecting more stakeholders than just one producers. We're holding now 3 quality certificates. One is local Bohinjsko from Bohinj, one is national. It's called selected quality for it's given to the food products, and the other one is a quality sign of a Triglav National Park, which is basically connecting other certificates. We are really proud that we're one of the 4 producers which is producing Mohant cheese, so a PDO certificated cheese, and that most of their produce and products is sold within 30 kilometers. And before I go on, I would just like to maybe, because before Marcela was speaking, they were the one of the restaurants which they set values also how to work with the restaurants. At the first years of production of operating our cheese dairy, we didn't have good experiences with restaurants. They didn't pay sometimes, but with setting the trusts found the Hiša Podvin, Marcela Klofutar, and Uroš were one of the first ones that they were really believing in this kind of not just story, but in this way of working with the smaller producers. So we still have future challenges. We are now building new product tasting areas. So we rebuilt one of the house, so we'll be able to host visitors also in the winter time, because now it was only we accepted guests at the open space. I mean, at the open floor, which was the same temperature as it was outside. We are working a lot on education and networking within and outside of our sector, so that we will follow the standards of the quality, or even raise the standards of the quality of our products and the produce in our future. And we're happy to say that we are now one of the 81 active certificate holders of Bohinjsko from Bohinj brand, which connects more than 200 certificated products from dishes, arts and crafts, certificate holders of accommodation, 34 experiences, and that we are part of some other local projects as Bohinj Breakfast, which is including different restaurants which are preparing a breakfast that is delivered directly to the doors of the apartments and rooms which are not serving breakfast, but people are now able to start their day with the produce from Bohinj area. And we are part of, as I said, a joint promotion on web shops, leaflets, selling points, events, gifts, joint selling points in the info center, local shops, and we are also part of a wider community of Julian Alps, and we are proud to present ourselves that we are from Bohinj area, and that what we are doing is good, and that we want to improve it, and that with the Bohinjsko from Bohinj brand, you will get the guarantee of originality, and that we are signed under it. So that's for now. I was a bit shorter.
Well, if there are no more questions, I would like to thank Lucija for really putting all the effort and explaining it really in a very motivated way. And I would like also to thank to all of you. I hope that it was interesting and it was useful for your work. Also thanks to Donaubüro Ulm for agreeing for this topic and giving us a chance to organize this webinar. And I wish you first of all nice evening, and to have also a very beautiful December, to have a nice celebration with your friends and families. And so let's enjoy the end of the year, and then it will be the start of new tourism year, and which we will do with new experiences. So thank you again, and have a nice evening, and goodbye.